Morning all. It's trying to snow out there today. A few little flakes are coming down. So as much as I need to go on my walk, I do need to go on my walk, I'm not risking it today. Don't want to get stuck halfway up a mountain and it's snowy, especially when none of my decent walking boots have got any grip on them. I think I need to get myself another pair of boots. So, sorry smile with Kyle, I know I should, I really should, but I'm not today. Plus we've got lads staying over as well, we've got guests. So yeah, the weather last night. We could hear the wind howling all night, which is why I'm a little bit slow, a little bit more than I normally am, because I've had no bugger all sleep. But tonight, we have tickets booked, we have done our COVID passports, what a faff that was, and we are off to see Ghostbusters Afterlife, a trip to the cinema. So maybe that brings me on to the subject of films, because last night we were watching on one of the streaming channels, Big Trouble in Little China. That's available on one of the streaming channels. It's a very 80s film, but it's a really good film. We enjoy that sort of big dumb action film like that. Is Die Hard a Christmas film? Yes, it is. It takes place around Christmas. It's set at a Christmas party. There are sorts of Christmas carols being played on the mute stereo. So yeah, to me, Die Hard is a Christmas film. As is Lethal Weapon. But if you watch the series of Lethal Weapon films, they have not aged very well at all. We did that when lockdown first started, March, April 2020, 12, 13, 14, nearly 18 months ago now, and we watched a lot of film series and box sets. We did the Lethal Weapon set, we did the Alien set, we did Predator set, we did the Fast and the Furious set, what else? Oh, lots of, probably more, I can't remember, but yeah, we did all these film, series, and yeah, the Lethal Weapon films have not aged very well, but then again, Mel Gibson, he's gone a little bit, I don't know, people change, they can, it's not like someone is always a certain type. People can change, and you may start off, my aliens are falling down again, start off one way, and then over time, due to influences and all the rest of it, become something else. That's a thing, I'm touching on in a couple of my podcasts. Christine Keeler, one of the, I suppose you could say, the architects behind the Perfumo affair, her trajectory was up and down. She lived with Stephen Ward. She was seeing this Russian spy. She was seeing John Perfumo, the Minister for War. Those are facts. And then she wasn't living. She moved out, and she was living with someone else. And this guy, John Edgecombe, attacked her. She ran back to Ward. She went back to Ward he was still friendly with her, but she just wasn't living with him. She moved on or got involved in other things. Same with Charles Manson, although it's a bit more of a tricky one, that. Would history be different if Manson had actually got his record deal with the Beach Boys producer and become the hippie musician that he wanted to be? Would he have then not become a murderer? That's a very interesting one to ponder, because there's an awful lot of information out there about the Manson murders and the Manson case, but there was a murder in Manson's hometown before he moved out to California, which bore all the hallmarks of a Manson killing, a knife attack. So, had he murdered somebody before he moved out to California? Difficult to say, very difficult to say, but maybe it's a distinct possibility, you know. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a fantastic film, and I think I've spoken about that before. Quentin Tarantino's take on the Manson murders, which was, I don't know what you call it, it was one of those structural identifiers, societal identifiers, you know, of the Manson murders. And do people get corrupted by their environment? It's an idea I have. It's probably not going to be formulated very well, but I have this idea. You know, and it goes right back. You go to school. You do well in school. You're from, you know, probably a middle class background, so you don't have the distractions and you don't have the disadvantages of some people. And you get your GCSEs now, but you get your O-levels, you do well in your O-levels, and when you do well in your A-levels, and you work hard, and you become, you know, a doctor, which to many people, it's you know, being a doctor is something to aspire to attain to, and you decide to become a pathologist, which you have to be a doctor to be a pathologist or a coroner. So you join up and you do these things, and you know, a lot of people die of old age and all the rest of it, and then something lands on your desk, or a cadaver lands on you in your mortuary, and it's someone who died in mysterious circumstances. Say they may have been murdered, it's difficult to tell, but you're sort of looking at this corpse and something's not right, and you're going, I think this person may have been murdered, I think there may have been foul play or something like that. So you write it down, cause of death, unverified or foul play or whatever, and when you get a message that comes down from the higher ups, no, it was suicide, and you're railroaded and persuaded because you've got a mortgage and a pension and possibly a wife and a family to support, but you've got to put down on the paperwork it was a suicide, end of stuff. It was a suicide or a natural, or whatever it was, natural causes, end of story. You've just crossed the line. Unconsciously, you know, you've not seen the line, and you probably won't see it till a couple of days later, and you look back and you go, I crossed the line there. Now what does that do to the hundreds or maybe thousands of cases that you've had before, where you've been honest and you've gone, old age, cancer, blah, blah, whatever? What does it make a mockery out of all of those? Does it make a mockery out of the hard work you put in from school, through sixth form, university, because you have been railroaded or persuaded by people higher up to do that? And then you're going to get the other thing, that these people higher up, and you follow the chain higher up, these people haven't had to work hard and study. They were maybe born into the positions, or they were given the positions through cronyism. How would that make you feel? Because you suddenly know you're carrying the can, and if this thing blows up and it becomes a media attention in the newspapers or whatever, it's you on the line. Now this is just hypothetical, and for instance, but it's something I think about a lot, and maybe you can see why. It's an indication of how society is certainly, if not broken, twisted. The fact that people in positions of power will abuse that power and order people and make people who are not much difference to you and I to do things. In doing so, it makes a mockery out of their integrity. Anyway, that's today's rant. Have a good weekend. Peace out.